ready now.
Red Ninja End of Honor takes top billing as one of the most infuriating games to emerge from the twilight years of the PlayStation 2. Failing miserably to cash in on the ninja craze, kickstarted by Tenchu, this woeful tale of revenge is fraught with mechanical missteps, frustrating foibles, and squandered sequences. Whether it's the pitiful stealth, broken platforming, or tedious combat, Red Ninja ends up botching almost all of its gameplay elements. Even if you stand as an aficionado of the stealth genre, Trangi Studios' sole game, something that's unsurprising once you boot this one up, is to be avoided like a blade to the throat. Kurenai is a young lady with the misfortune of witnessing her father's murder and being left for dead, hung until a timely rescue by a ninja clansman. Trained with the same wire which nearly snuffed her out, she pledges her service to the clan while pining for revenge upon those who murdered her father. The story is inoffensive, with basic writing, getting the job done, and serviceable voice acting that's light years ahead of Tenchu. It just doesn't prove particularly interesting, with Kurenai a mostly detached character who you feel little connection to. There's the naturally sympathetic cause of avenging a lost loved one, but that's about it. But in comparison, it's miles ahead of the rest of the game, a damning indictment once you delve deeper.
Careful.
Tenzo.
Don't say it. Listen carefully. Target him as his eyes are focused on the no.
Red Ninja is one of those rare games that you can sense something is wrong with from the beginning. The controls feel twitchy, and Kurenai feels difficult to maneuver. Not to mention, the controls generally lack responsiveness, sometimes neglecting to register inputs. But the camera is somehow even worse. Zoomed far too close to give a good field of vision, and perhaps too focused on showcasing Kurenai's underwear, it proves useless for lining up jumps and seeing guard positioning during stealth. The tutorial handily showcases these issues, as certain sections forcing platforming prove difficult to pass. Yet you soon realise, things build to an even greater nadir once the mechanics are under strain. The only upside is Kurenai's weapon, which is pretty neat, allowing you to not only slice enemies, but also hang them, swing across gaps, and pull down objects, proving flexible and fun to use. And you can find a plethora of extra items, including throwing knives. The problem is, Red Ninja tries to juggle 3 distinct gameplay styles, but fails miserably. Stealth suffers from awkward AI patterns and a lack of clear line of sights, making detection inevitable. Kurenai can use her charms to seduce guards, but this seems to rarely work. While you can pull off some satisfying kills, it proves a pale imitation of the genre's best. Combat fares even worse. The targeting has tremendous trouble keeping up with the action, swaying between multiple foes like a drunk bee. Cheap AI will repeatedly knock you down with little room for rebuttal, and strikes lack impact for the most part. Platforming is easily the most hair-pulling part of the game. With instant death hazards, which would make Lara Croft green with envy, unresponsive mechanics such as wall running, and the aforementioned issues with controls and the camera, players should prepare to succumb to death a lot. The worst of these is around the midpoint of Mission 3, with a gauntlet of a platforming section which borders on insanity. These mechanics all turn Red Ninja into a frustrating, cheaply designed, infuriating mess.
Oh, so you are the Takenawaya ninja. It's a shame that this precious fighting art is going to disappear along with you.
By far the worst designed sections of Red Ninja are the bosses, taking the worst pages out of Tenchu's book. Closing each chapter, these require figuring out weak points, utilising gear you earn, and oftentimes sheer luck. As nimble as Kurenai is, you'll often take plenty of hits as bosses spam you with attacks. The worst of these is the Snake Charmer, which forces you not only to target each part of her body with pristine timing and then fight her in a second phase, but also do it all under a timer, with one of Kurenai's companions poisoned and her death spelling an instant game over. While other bosses don't quite reach this level of frustration, they're still monumental pains to fight, with trial and error grinding you into dust. Most sane players will likely break at one of these, and those who persevere will likely find it more exhausting than rewarding. Despite its 2005 release, Red Ninja looks pretty dated. Everything has a blurry, unflattering look to it, from the rough around the edges character models to the bland and lifeless environments. The performance is middling, load times are quite long, and animations are lacking. The only bright spot is the fountains of blood which pour from gruesome kills. The sound is uninteresting, with acceptable yet unremarkable voice acting, completely forgettable music, and rote sound effects which feel like they were taken from a game a generation before. Compared to competing games like God of War and Devil May Cry 3, Red Ninja pales from a technical standpoint. Red Ninja End of Honor is a calamitous mix of poor design, dated mechanics, and torturous difficulty balancing, making for one of the PS2's most unsatisfying games. Its stealth is years behind the curve, the combat is a mess, and platforming is some of the worst the console would see. Throw in heinously cheap bosses, a forgettable story, and no good reason to return, and it comes together like a puzzle missing several pieces, the equivalent of taking lashes for 10 hours straight. Masochists may find it less tedious, but for anyone who wants their dedication to be rewarded with good gameplay, you'll need to find your fix elsewhere.